Yo, everybody, what's up? We're back with the draft now between Asians with Attitudes and Unknown Storm.
Rhaegar Anna Falstad to start off here, banning Zagara, and Unknown Storm taking Diablo and Thrall, banning out the Li Ming, which I don't think we've actually seen being played at all this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see now Jaina picked up by Asians of Attitude, making sure they get in that super hard mage damage, as that has been the preferred mage that we've seen, so far throughout the tournament.
Yeah, and we're definitely seeing right here that they're definitely going for a heavy damage type comp here. They're picking the Jaina. They have Falstad. They have Rhaegar. They have a ton of damage going here. So Unknown Storm really going to have to react right here. Though they do have Diablo Thrall, which is a really strong combo.
Yeah, and this actually is what we saw to them last game, is they're running that Earthquake and Apocalypse combo to be able to lock down a lot of members of the enemy team that was allowing them to put in a ton of damage in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, and it does look like it's going to be a pretty interesting so far. And they do ban out maybe the Johanna here. I don't know exactly what they were going there for, because banning a frontline in this game at the moment, there's just plenty of options.
Yeah, I think they're trying to limit them and try to force them into Mirrodin, because I think right now, after the nerfs to Avatar, Mirrodin is definitely less strong than Johanna. So maybe they're just trying to take away the option that counters their picks the best. Maybe they plan on going to more auto attack heroes. Obviously, the blinds hurt Thrall a lot, and maybe those stunts and slows can prevent their game plan. So maybe they thought that maybe Mirrodin or ETC were less of a threat to them than Johanna.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're going with that, but we do see an Uther ban go out with Asians with Attitude. So right now we do have a Diablo and a Thrall, so I'm not going to be surprised to see some sort of ranged DPS here. Perhaps Kayle, though he has fallen off a little bit since the nerfs to his abilities. But a Raynor definitely would not be something to scoff at here. But Stitches is banned from this tournament, and I hope that Unknown Storm knows that.
Unfortunately, we do see this problem. We had it last tournament where people sometimes don't get the memo about those bans and such, despite us trying to communicate that the best that we could. So we will have to probably do a redraft or maybe just change the pick. It might have been, sometimes this draft system makes a misclick or something like that where it picks the wrong hero by mistake.
Okay, and it looks like we're going to have to see exactly how they're going to replace the Stitches hook. I'm not sure if we do want to contact them maybe and have this redraft started again, but we've seen teams be really nice and just let them repick a different tank or something like that. But not exactly sure how we're going to handle this, but we'll just keep going on like we are. They do get the Raynor like I expected. And Asians with Attitude here, they do need some sort of front line, so probably what we're going to see here is a Mirrodin, as well as possibly some sort of specialist, though specialists have kind of fallen out of the meta in general.
Yeah, I'd love to see Zagara here, because obviously, again, she's very strong to just let be on that bottom lane. Of course, you can do the same with Falstad since he's got that fly. And Zagara also provides a lot of vision and utility with her creep and with her moss.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, though, they are going deep into their time pool, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they're going to draft here. Like I said, I just think Mirrodin is kind of a quick choice here. They need to pick something, or maybe I'm waiting for a message here. Yeah, it looks like they're just doing troll draft here because they said Stitches isn't allowed, so we're probably just going to do a redraft, I bet.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the unfortunate thing that happens sometimes. Some people just, if they don't pay attention, they don't quite get the memo, and we do see that unfortunately happen.
Yeah, and you know what, Gazlowe and Azmodan, maybe the dream is alive for you folks out there that are watching that want to see the Azmogaz, as it's called, Craigasm, or whatever you might want to throw out in Twitch chat. It may be able to happen here, but I doubt it.
Yeah, obviously we're going to see that redraft come up, which will, who do you think they're going to pick instead of maybe Stitches if we do see that redraft?
Honestly, if they're going to go for a double tank front with the ban of Johanna, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to pick up Mirrodin. But honestly, if they're not going to pick up Stitches, I don't see them going double tank. I expect them to pick probably a healer at that point, maybe a medic, because when you have medic and Thrall on your side, it's a pretty good combo, because Thrall is one of the best counters to medic in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. His ability to dive her and root her in place kind of prevents her ability to hide behind her front line and escape that well.
All right, guys. So this is what we got so far. I don't think this is going to be finalized, but I will try to verify that. Actually, at the moment, we are going to go to just a short, quick break until I can clarify this, but we'll be right back.
Gotcha.
All right, guys, we are back. I apologize for the delay. You know, there's a little bit of confusion in tournaments because there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to give a shout out to all our admins running the tournament because it does take a lot of work. And
absolutely, there has been a lot of errors going on here with teams messing with us or we're having lag problems, but they've really done a super good job at keeping it together and trying to hold the tournament together the best that they can.
Yeah, and you know, I'm trying to make sure that I get you guys the best quality stream that I possibly can. I was kind of put on here, you know, because we were having some issues with lags and stuff like that to do this. So haven't put together all the scenes or the camera scenes, so you won't be able to get to see our beautiful faces during this stream. But we will promise to provide you with the best commentary that we possibly can.
Yes, maybe our sexy voices can serenade you enough to make up for the lack of our sexy faces.
Okay, come on, try not to make me too hot and bothered before the match. We haven't even seen Kel'Thas yet. Okay, first band that we have going out to Unknown Storm is Li Ming, and Asians with Attitude looks like they're going to do the Rhaegar, so... Oh, no, maybe not. No, it does look like maybe perhaps the Rhaegar band. It does seem like the actual band that you'd want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be a very strong band to pick because you know, if you give Unknown Storm that Rhaegar, then they can obviously use that powerful heals and they can use that powerful slows to combo with that known Diablo and Thrall that they've been known to run.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and now we do see that they're debating what their first pick is, and you know, the redraft is kind of a mental thing when it comes to like tournaments and stuff. You know, do you go with your original plan that you know that they saw, or do you just do something new?
Yeah, absolutely, and of course we do see Unknown Storm going to that Thrall that we know that they like for sure.
Yeah, and Zagara Uther, very strong combo. Zagara just being a strong laner, being able to control that vision amongst the boss very easily, and really just nobody can beat her. You have to Sim 2 to deal with her.
Yeah, of course. Now with the Uther, though, I'm not really sure if they're going to plan to go to a melee assassin later, maybe a Sonya that they can use to get in a lot of damage and with that Divine Shield on.
Yeah, I think that you are spot on the money, sir, and just like you have been on a lot of your calls that I've seen, Uther is just a powerhouse when it comes to making a melee assassin a laughable stun target to becoming a bloodthirsty killing monster that haunts your nightmares for days.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we can see an Illidan come out of Asians with attitude.
Yeah, I believe the kids these days call him Illadank. Maybe we can still some Illadanks going on today, but not so sure about that. But I have seen some exceptional Illidan players throughout my days playing since Alpha. We'll see if he gets brought in here. Johanna Diablo, so they do stick to the double tank format.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting to note that they did try to ban out Johanna last time, so maybe they want to use something.
Oops, sorry about that, guys. I actually switched screens there for a second. But yeah, so we're gonna see exactly what the next band's gonna come out of here. I imagine they do some sort of range DPS. If you can't pick it, I'd suggest banning a Jaina out because Jaina is just really strong right now. She's probably the best mage besides Li Ming, but there's just a lot of options for them here.
Yeah, if they really don't want to deal with that burst damage, I would recommend picking or banning that Jaina right away as fast as they possibly can. We did see Kel'Thas in the last game, although he did a pretty good job where he was able to spread those chain bombs pretty effectively, but that obviously was because they had that triple front line. Unknown Storm, I think any backliner they pick is going to be pretty safe, considering how tough their front line is with that Thrall, with that Diablo, and with that Johanna able to slow, stun, and root their enemies in place.
Yeah, I think you're completely right here, and they do ban the Kel'Thas because they really don't want that happening here, and I can't blame them because Kel'Thas, no matter what, is still a really strong hero.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people say he's been ruined after his nerfs, but I have to disagree. I think really his nerfs have just allowed him to be played, or has forced him to be played more carefully, where you're not able to position poorly and just go, please, gods of arcane barrier, please save me. Where now you actually have to plan where you're positioning and position carefully, where you're not able to play like a melee assassin who's got chain bomb.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head, my friend. It's sometimes a learn to play type of deal. And once you get that positioning down, you're able to hit those chain bombs, or even some people have been going the Q build now, you can do a lot of damage. And like I said, though, Jaina not being picked up here, smart move by Agents with Attitude, saying, hey, you're not going to ban Jaina out, you're going to ban a tank out, well, we're going to make sure that we get a ton of damage on our team.
Yeah, absolutely. We have seen that drafting strategy come out from Unknown Storm before. They like to pick those really strong frontliners and ban out others. And so, how God Hates Us All tried to deal with this, they went to a Sonya and Chen. But now, if you're Asian with attitude, who do you pick? I mean, obviously, ETC would be really strong here with that Maw, Divine Shield, Mosh Pit wombo combo that they could try to pull off.
Yeah, I think that without banning the ETC here, what Unknown Storm is doing, perhaps maybe a mistake against Agents with Attitude, is saying, hey, we dare you. We don't think that you can play a really good ETC. ETC takes a lot of skill to play. If you power slide wrong, you're going to instantly get deleted. So go ahead and pick ETC, but we're going to outplay you.
Yeah, obviously, we could see Vola going down, which would be an interesting differentiation. Obviously, they can't pick up any mages because they've all either been banned out or picked so far. So we are going to not have as much burst damage that we see they like to run. But obviously, with that Thrall being able to root, and with the triple stun of Tyrande, Johanna, Diablo, if they pick up someone like Vola, that could obviously allow her to land her damage a lot easier than she could without those stuns to help her out.
Yeah, and really, though, the real story here for me is the solo Tyrande pick. Tyrande's healing got nerfed a few patches ago, and, it's going to take a lot of good positioning from Unknown Storm to make the use out of Tyrande, because until level 13, her healing doesn't really pick up that much. So I understand that they have Diablo, Tyrande, Thrall to blow up a target, but they have to be careful to not get blown up themselves at the very beginning of team fights.
Yeah, and we did see the ETC picked up, which is definitely, I think, what we called there because of that mosh pit possibility. Now, I wonder if they were planning on going with that the whole time. Because if they were, I think they would have picked him sooner. I think the Uther definitely telegraphs an ETC pick. But, maybe they just got lucky and escaped the bans.
Yeah, and I think you're really right, but the Maw is going to be able to set up a lot of plays because you can Maw into Blizzard into Mosh Pit. So I think the Zagara play is going to be a huge deal here, and actually, I think I need you to add me to your friends list here.
I think I do here. Let me send you my B tag here as well. Set up.
Sorry about that, guys, but it's just like I said, I did get put in here at the last minute, so we're just trying to make sure that we give you the most quality that we can here. So.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I've been having a lot of. I was trying to stream my best on my computer, but the CPU problems we were having with streaming was unlike what I saw in my tests. So I'll have to adjust a lot of settings before we try to do that again. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure if it was the lag from the computer or the CPU problems, which tended to according to the diagnostics, looked like it was part of the problem. But it also easily could have been the fact that we had a team flying from Latin America, so there definitely was a lot of lag in there as well. We were trying to play at 300 ping there for a little bit, so we'll have to see how that goes in the future. Obviously, we're gonna try to avoid having that kind of lag again, as that was pretty frustrating. But obviously now we're gonna see good quality for the finals, and that's what it's really about.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to get it to you as much as possible. I didn't get to do a test stream here, guys, so let me know in chat if you need to throw tomatoes at me and I need to go home because I have a garbage computer, but I hope it works out and end up streaming well. But, yeah, so I think you might have been friends or you might have been with the last team that gets in there, so if we can get into the lobby. I don't know if you have them or not.
I think the admins are going to be able to set that up and they're going to invite us separately. So we're just going to be waiting on that for Ray to get that set up for us real fast, and once he gets that set up, I believe he will invite us.
Awesome, that sounds really great.
So really, though, who do you think won the draft here? If you had to look at these teams, who do you say has the inherent advantage?
For me, I think the inherent advantage in here is this once again not getting to see Unknown Storm. You've seen Unknown Storm is the Tyrande solo heal is going to really, I think, cause problem because Agents with Attitude it has enough tools with Jaina and Zagara to have a sustained fight that I don't know if Tyrande can heal through because even if they put that spike damage on one target when it comes to level 10, D-Shield's going to be able to shield that target. So, it's going to be rough when you're trying to solo target one person that gets D-Shield and then all of a sudden you have a Mosh Pit and then a Maw and then a Blizzard on top of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is a lot more Wombo potential. They're obviously losing a lot of the Wombo potential without having a lot of follow-up damage. They don't have that burst of Li Ming as we have no Cedar, but I think Jaina will be able to do, and but we do obviously see that Divine Shield Mosh Pit Maw combo that can do so much damage. So I think it's really going to be on Team Unknown Storm to be able to put out a lot of damage onto another target to force that D-Shield out. That way they don't have it available for ETC.
Yeah, excellent analysis there. That's exactly what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to make sure that, don't commit all fully of your ultimates to the fight. You have really good control without your ultimates. You have Diablo into Tyrande stun into Johanna pool. Force that D-Shield out, disengage, and then re-engage without the T-Shield. And Uther, he has burst heals, but until he gets some of his later talents in the game, he can only heal that one target.
All right. It appears I have received a friend request from PokerStar, so I'm going to be able to get us into this game.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. So yeah, let's see. Twitch chat, who do you think is going to win the first game here? Do you think it's going to be Agents with Attitude or Unknown Storm? Let us know. If you do, maybe change your chat to blue if you're Agents with Attitude. Change your chat to red if you're for Unknown Storm.
All right, and we are getting able to be put into this game right now. We do see Team Agents with an Attitude being all Diablo all the time, trying to show their Diablo pride.
Yeah, they are once again saying Diablo Master Race. So, and yeah, we're gonna be going to this really soon. It looks like everybody's in the lobby. Everybody's getting readied up, and I'm really excited about this. Hyped. How are you feeling about this? I know this is your second finals that you've casted, so.
I'm feeling very hyped. The last finals was super exciting and super close, so I'm excited to see something like it again.
Yeah, I mean, this is my first finals that I'm casting for this tournament, so I have a little bit of the butterflies, guys, so I'm going to have to try to not get so hyped that I throw up all over my keyboard.
No throw up hype. That would be very bad.
But, yeah, I'm just kind of having fun here. We're all having fun here. We're all relaxing here because all the relaxing is probably going to go down the drain once we actually start this matchup here because it's going to be hype and a half, my friends.
Yeah, absolutely. The hype is going to be so strong that I think I might just explode from the inside out. I haven't eaten in like 5 hours.
Yeah, man.
But really, I think if we're going to talk about maps, though, I think one issue that we might see from Agents with Attitude is they don't have a really solid jungler. They're going to have to send 1 or 2 people to take care of that. Where maybe Thrall or Johanna in early levels might be able to take care of that jungling by themselves. And honestly, that top bruiser camp is really important around the time of the second shrine that spawns in the bottom, because that's really what you want to be contesting over. You want to get that just in time so you're able to come down to the bottom to be there in time for that second shrine, while that Bruiser Camp is going to be able to push top on its own.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. It's going to definitely be an issue here, especially whenever they want to time those Merc camps, because in this map, which is, it's so important that you have to take the camps at the right time, because you want to make sure that you get the temples while still getting some sort of pressure on the map. Those bruisers are very key to what separates the good teams from the great teams. You got to make sure you grab that bruiser camp right before the second set of temples spawn, which is the one at bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think the big playmakers of this game, who we're going to see the game kind of rest on, is going to be for Team Asians with Attitude. I think it's going to rest on the shoulders of Uther, Zagara, and Thrall. Uther, Zagara, and ETC, and being able to land their ults, correctly and able to land it, land them super, super well, and really wombo off correctly and have a lot of coordination. Or an unknown, we're going to really see those combinations between those frontliners. I think it's going to be up to them to protect their squishier backline, because obviously they don't have a lot of healing with that Tyrande solo heal. So if Valla does get focused down, there's really not going to be much that Tyrande can do to save her.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be just... like I was talking with Ben, who I was casting with, which, he did a great job tonight, and if you guys saw him, make sure you give him a follow. We can debate these team comps all day and how they're going to, but it just depends on team communication, their game plan that they're talking about right now, and exactly who's going to execute. And really, guys, you can't, mark out the who wants it more. That's always a factor. And it does look like we are starting, guys. So let's see. The match is about to start, and I'm gonna switch you over here.
Let's get some hype for game one of the finals of Viper Tech Gaming Tournament. Here's the Storm, number 2. Woo!
Yeah, I am hype. I am hype. Let's do this, guys. All right. So, do you want to start announcing the teams on the left?
Yeah, absolutely. 4-team Unknown Storm. On the right, we have Thrall playing Pokestar, Diablo playing Arcanix, Tyrande playing Smoky Paper, Johanna playing iMade, and Valla playing Pinbox XD.
Yeah, and on the side of Asians with Attitude, we have ETC with FC Ignition playing ETC, Half and Half playing Uther, Saber playing Jaina, Lucky Swan playing Zagara, and the Next Slash playing Raynor. And the casters, of course, are myself, Bleedies, and Bri, and we are hyped and we are ready to go. We are just loading this match, and we are able to bring it to you so you guys get excited in chat and say who you think you're going to win, because I am ready to see an excellent finals.
Yeah, absolutely. My hype levels are actually off the charts right here. After coming off of the escalation from the last tournament's finals and how exciting those were, I'm even more pumped to see these two teams go head-to-head. Especially, I'm trying to get over my terror as I'm seeing all these Lords of Terror here on the map. We see, Diablo actually being played on the right with all Diablo ports on the left. There's just so much terror being lorded over in this game that we're really not sure who's going to be more scared. Unknown Storm?
Okay, then so we do have it, and we do have the teams going out here, and we're gonna have, like I said, on the left side we have Asians with Attitude. On the right we have, Unknown Storm, correct?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, and it does look like they're gonna just do split up normally here. Maybe perhaps go to the first vision. That's always a classic thing to do, even though most pros will tell you, God, please don't die at the vision, but. It's fun, guys. It's an amateur tournament. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really do appreciate the color coordination by the team. Asians Attitude going full blue skins with Unknown Storm going full red skins. I really do appreciate their efforts to make everything look pretty.
Yeah, and it does. And it does look like they are having a slight fight here at the first thing, but it doesn't look like really they're going to try to give up too much ground here. Going to make sure that they're actually playing this quite safe.
Yeah, there really is no reason to die over this vision here, especially if you're Asians with Attitude and you have Zagara on your team who can provide you so much vision anyways.
Yeah, we do have them grouping up here on mid, but it doesn't look like they have anybody bottom yet. I'd imagine Zagara would be rotating here, but actually Zagara is top. They're trying to do a strategy where it looks like they're pushing top really hard.
Yeah, this is very interesting. As they're sending Raynor mid, maybe the plan was to leave him down there to try to farm those season marksman stacks as much as possible, while they had a heavy push with Zagara. That is, a strategy that we have seen in some competitive pro-level games. But I really don't agree with the decision of leaving ETC by himself, as he doesn't have that great of wave there.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And actually, it looks like Raynor here on bottom is being pressured quite hard by the Tyrande Thrall combo. Trying to survive as well as he can, and obviously Raynor is a very good hero to survive engagements. But he's going to have to be very careful here to not get stunned. Meanwhile, top. Yeah, that's just getting pushed in hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the 3-1-1 plan is the strongest. So obviously you are going to give up a little bit on the bottom, as you know there is that 2 split there to try to push a little bit harder. With that 3-1-1, you're able to shove one lane much harder. As you know, I think a lot of times it's easy to say. You know, a lot of times in Hero League people try to spread out that 1-2-2, but really I think the unfortunate part about that is, you know, what are 2 people going to get done versus 2 other people? Where, you know, 3 you're going to get a push done, but 2's just going to sit there and trade probably.
Really interesting strategy going on by both teams here. Not really committing to any of the temples, but really would rather fight here. The stun does go out on Uther. He does get stunned from the Diablo, and he does go down, so that is 1 kill going in favor of Unknown Storm. But, and also Thrall getting middle, so.
Yeah, really, we did see that, you know, the Unknown Storm had that faster reaction time where they're able to respond quicker to, you know, noticing that Uther is out of position and going straight for him rather than waiting. And because they're able to react way faster than the team of Asians with Attitude was, they were able to pick up that kill. But now we do see them trying to contest the middle lane with that too. But this could be a serious lead for Unknown Storm if they're able to get both temples full capped.
True, but I will say in regards to Asian with Attitudes, and it's always the mini things in the game that can change things here. They're doing a great job of making sure that they're hanging out in every single lane so they're not getting the temples. So while the buildings are in favor of the other team, you can see that the experience is still around the same level.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we do see Asians with Attitude forming back together, trying to get their Uther back, and they're all going to storm top to make sure they get those final shots of that Tom Temple, not losing all the value there. But obviously we did see a beneficial trade for the team of Unknown Storm.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a little bit beneficial, but the real game doesn't start until somebody loses a keep. And if you can keep that XP level like it is right now, man, for having a loss there, they really just did a great job of making sure that they got the most out of it.
Yeah, I think one interesting point to note is that it's actually more impactful to get the middle keep, and that's why that is where the XP advantage for Unknown Storm comes from, because the middle tower will actually shoot, or the middle keep or temple will shoot the middle tower first, while the top temple shoots the top fort first.
And it does look like they did pick up that camp, but like I said, I think it's a little bit early before the temple spawns, and I think Asians with Attitude will be able to clear it relatively easy.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to capture that camp when they don't have time to respond because they have to rotate bottom. And so I think at this time it would have been better for them to get the siege first and then get bruises later, as the bruises aren't even able to get any damage into the...
Raynor dodging the stuns, but it doesn't matter. That's 2 heroes versus 1 here, and he's going to go down. While we're waiting for the next thing to go here, let's go over some level 7 talents. We have Loudspeakers from ETC. Cleanse going out from Uther, getting lots of value out of that. We're going at Ice Lance build for Jaina. Endless Creep for Zagara, and Revolution Overdrive for Raynor.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Revolution Overdrive when he didn't go for Give Me More here. For the team of Unknown Storm, we do see follow through, completing that Chain Lightning build for Thrall. Battle Momentum, very powerful on Diablo. Quickening Blessing on Tyrande, able to give her that move speed, which is interesting. Maybe to try to counteract some of those slows, or able to maybe dodge some of the ETC power slides there. We do see that Conviction for Johanna, making sure she can land those multi-stuns easier. And that Searing Attacks, going for that full super bursty auto attack build.
Yeah, you know, you don't see Valas really go that much very more in the meta, so it's really interesting to see a Vala with the auto attack build, and I think that caught Raynor off guard at the bottom there because he just wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, absolutely, and we do see in the top lane, because Asians with Attitude were able to get that Bruiser Camp at the right time, Unknown Storm is just going to have to let it push top or give up that bottom temple. So, you know, that timing on the Bruisers does really matter.
It does, and like I say, though the kills are in favor of Unknown Storm, the objective and the way that they're working the experience and the mechanical play is working out. And ETC is having to go away here. He's getting overpowered by Diablo, but he's stunned and pulled in by Johanna, but he's able to manipulate this, and they're focusing on way too much, and Tyrande does go down.
Yeah, some unfortunate positioning by Tyrande, trying to put in too much work against ETC, allowed him to basically flip the tides and put him on the team. That's going to lead to a 2-for-0 trade so far.
3-for-0 now.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and look at this. We have just such a good play here. And like I said, the more time that they could fight there, instead of just grabbing the temple when they had the obvious advantage, they forced them to fight at that moment, which left the top camp up here just able to freely push. So once again, just knowing that they need to get to level 10 first, knowing they should just play the macro game better than the kill game. Asians with attitude showing superior game knowledge right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though that didn't get that top forward, it did put in a lot of damage and took out all the ammunition. So that's going to allow them to push top a lot easier. And now they're using the opportunity to actually shove bottom with that temple.
Yeah, and it's just all in win right here. And what has to happen here is they have to be really careful because you don't want to make sure that you don't get wiped here on the side of Unknown Storm, because then that's a free boss. So they have to play really carefully here.
Yeah,
and as we're talking,
we'll take this opportunity to look at some ultimates. We do see that Sunray picked up, countering, as opposed to the Earthquake that he picked up last team from Thrall. That Apocalypse from Diablo to counter with that Thunder. The Shadow Stalk, of course, from Tyrande. The Blessed Shield come with the APOC from Johanna. And the Rain of Vengeance.
And the Blessed Shield does go out as you're speaking about it right here. And they are pushing into the Uther's having to back out a lot far, but he hasn't popped his Divine Shield yet. Johanna being pushed back. ETC going in, mosh pitting, catching 3 heroes in this. The APOC does go out, does blow up. Vala goes down. Tyrande goes down. And it does look like they're going to get, wow, hitting 3 people with the Ring of Frost. And it's a full team wipe.
Wow, absolutely a full team wipe. What a crazy engage. As we did see the danger of letting an ATC be picked by the enemy team, we did see that Mosh Pit able to do so much work. And even though they were able to interrupt it with that Apocalypse, it just wasn't in time.
Yeah, I mean, that was just unfortunate. They were able to catch Johanna before she could put out a Condemn. And it was just, from that point, it was on GG. But good, just, you saw the damage come out here. So really great by Saber to make sure that he got that Ring of Frost to just secure the team wipe.
I think one interesting thing to note is in the first game of the last finals that we casted, we actually did see an ETC and Zagara on the same team. But before, what happened is ETC would mosh pit as Zagara would maul at the same time, basically negating the effect of both. But as we see, Asians with Attitude is able to communicate a whole lot better than that team did the last time. And their mosh pits and mauls are landing definitely in coordination rather than conflict.
Yeah, and it's really just turning out to be... man, you couldn't even tell at the very beginning of the game they had been down in kills here, because now Asians with Attitude just taking control at the moment. And maybe you want to check out some level 13 talents for us?
Sure thing. If we go ahead and look at the level 13 talent from Team Asians with Attitude, we do see that Showstopper making ETC more tanky, which is interesting. I think I would prefer the slow on the face melt, but to each their own. We do see that Shrink Ray by Uther going for that piano build, that improved Ice Block, allowing Jaina to dodge some of that dive from Thrall and Diablo, and double Giant Killer to face that triple frontline from Zagara and Reyna.
Interesting. You do not see a Zagara usually take Giant Killer, but a very situational pick here because they want to make sure that they can mow through that front line when it does get engaged upon. So something that I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like she is going to go for that basic attack with that Envenomed Spines. I'm surprised we didn't see her go Battle Momentum if that's her goal. Unfortunately, it looks like they are going to try to fight here, but I really don't recommend this because Unknown Storm is down at talent here.
Yeah, they have to be really confident in the fight here, and I'm really surprised that they're going to take it, but they do get the Power Slide on the Thrall. Thrall does take a lot of Blizzard damage. He does do the Sundering to split up the team here, trying to take out him, but the Divine Shield does go out as well as the Ice Block. It gets taken out.
Yeah, and so now we see Johanna is just way too deep in the backline. She's trying to get off Condemn. She's able to get that stun onto Jaina, and that Ring of Frost is not going to do anything. Now Maul is going to go ahead and land on Diablo, keeping her, allowing Jaina to be safe for a little bit, but he's just going to get taken down by that Vala chase. And now Unknown Storm has been able to turn around to get a 2v1.
Yeah, that was really excellent there here. Jaina did take a little bit too much damage. Probably the Uther not putting off enough heals there, but really they get kind of a favorable trade here. Even though they lose here, they can get the bottom temple.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the even trade, there obviously could be worse situations. And I really would have liked to see Unknown Storm maybe press their advantage more, try to go for team wipes, so they could have gone for both temples. But, obviously you have to be careful. You don't want to risk everything you had. And Diablo and Johanna were kind of low. I think if we look at the issue that we had in the last team fight, it was that Asians with Attitude really wasn't able to focus well enough, which is surprising because that's not a problem they all had earlier in the game. But no, the focusing issue came into sight where they had Johanna really low, they had Diablo really low, they had Thrall really low, they had a bunch of heroes really low.
They have to be really careful here. They do have some shots here that they might want to claim here, but it could be. Oh, we do have the Shadow Stalk going here for perhaps an engage here, which that's going to ETC, but he sees that coming from a mile away.
Yeah, what a heads up play. But we are see Diablo dive back into the line. He's able to take out a ton of damage under Raynor, but he's going to be healed up just fine with that adrenaline rush. And now that Majima comes up, putting out a lot of damage on the ball, she's going to get caught into that shrink ray. But then the Incredible Thunder coming out, separating that. But he's going to get dive down, but she's going to pick up the heal just in time. But ETC's going to get her killed anyways. But because ETC was chasing kills, that's going to allow for Uther and Jaina to be killed. And now he could get killed if he doesn't get enough damage onto Brawl, but he's going to be taken down.
And that's the danger right there, Mosh Pit, of making sure you're not using it at the right time or not holding on to it too long right there. Only catches the Vala in it, and the Johanna kind of wanders into it aimlessly, but putting himself in a really bad position, not being able to peel for his team, and it does result in his team going down pretty handily.
Yeah, because he was trying to dive too deep, he wasn't able to peel for his backline, which is really what they need to do with such a frontline heavy team on Unknown Storm. And we actually are going to see Unknown Storm be able to take it around. This is the second fight they've taken and won down in Palantir, which is interesting right now.
Yeah, really, just being able to pick the targets a lot more efficiently and making sure they get that damage off on those targets when you saw that Raynor who got severely targeted.
Yeah, absolutely. So now this is going to allow for a lot of pushing pressure. Obviously, they're going to be able to get a lot of camps here. They got to be able to get both Siege camps and one Brewster camp. That's going to allow them a lot of map control and vision, as well as being able to pick up those level 16 talents that you might be able to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these talents here. We do have Imposing Presence going out here to stop that auto attack damage from Vala. Benediction, of course, an obvious pick here. Northern Exposure to Root, so making sure she can't be chased. Brute Expansion on Zagara, and Bullseye, so making sure they have a little bit more stun to get some of these people off of them. We have Rolling Thunder, which is just another charge of Chain Lightning. Devil's Due, so he can resurrect a lot faster for these late game team fights. Ranger's Mark, which is really going to allow them to do a lot more damage. We have Knight takes... sorry, I'm looking at the wrong tier here. For the other team. Holy Renewal, Blood for Blood, but I'm going to have to stop because we have a team fight right here.
She's going to be jumped on a lot. She's going to take us so much damage, but now the Apocalypse and the Moths both coming out. The Stunner coming out. Jaina getting that Divine Shield, but she's still going to die.
Yeah, what we saw right there is even, like the Mosh is going out here, but it doesn't need to be go out here. And just an excellent, even though Jaina does go down, that Ring of Frost hit 4 heroes. And from that, they were just able to just take that down. And Uther, when he gets that Benediction here, he's able to just keep his team up for days.
Yeah, that was just a crazy engage. I thought for sure that Team Asian's attitude was going to lose that fight, as Jaina did get pulled out super hard. But she was able to get in a lot of damage before she died because of that Ice Block and because of that Divine Storm.
Yeah, and it looks like they are going to go for the boss play here. And with Diablo being the only one up, and their last member here being Tyrande not going to be up for 30 seconds, it does seem like an easy boss here for the side of Agents with Attitude. And man, we got ourselves a game here, my friend.
Yep, this is a super close game one, back and forth on both sides. And I really do like the timing of this boss play. That's allowed them to grab boss. So now Team Unknown Storm has to choose to defend their bottom keep or their top keep. They're most certainly going to have to lose one, as they're not going to be able to defend.
Here's an interesting play here, and I think this is how it's going to play out here. They're actually going to send some people up here to get some of these top shots because they know somebody has to go down. So perhaps maybe they can even get a pick here. So because it takes the boss a little bit of time to get there. So I'm going to see if they get a pick here because I think they could try.
Absolutely. Did see Jaina lag behind to take away that Siege camp. Not sure if I really super agree with that decision. But now Diablo's going to get caught out, and Thrall gets power slided into it.
That is the exact opposite of what I said they needed to do, and that's unfortunate because it does look like Diablo is also going to go down here from the Raynor, just chasing him down with auto attacks, and Johanna's going to just have to retreat. So not only did... Yeah, go on.
I don't really think they should have gone with that 4v5 that they did. That allowed Diablo to be put in. You know, he was obviously way out of position, just too far down in the team, and they didn't have that Vala there to help them out with that damage.
Yeah, like, they really need to, like I said, if they were going to do it, they had to engage immediately, send all 5 up there, get a pick, and then go clear the boss. But, like you said, yeah, that's unfortunate because they lost the members, and they didn't really get anything out of it. Meanwhile, Hyperion being cast, and it looks like mid's going to be pushed down here.
This really is an opportunity for Asian's Attitude to turn this around. Obviously, the respawn timers aren't too long now for Unknown Storm, so they are going to have their Diablo back to be fast. And so Unknown Storm could be in a good position if they're able to get a pick off here, but they are down a talent here, so I don't really recommend they try to fight.
We have
a situation where I'd recommend Asian shut down.
We have Storm talents on the side of the Agent with Attitude, so we have 3 Bolt of the Storms, Redemption, which is just an amazing ability on Uther, which allows them to be even more aggressive, and Nexus Frenzy, which, you know, just allows Raynor to be pretty much the most annoying piece of crap in the game. He'll poke you from a mile away.
The slows and damage is so great.
Yeah, we're going to really have to see here, because this is going to be the main thing here. They're not on Storm talent tier here, but they have been taking fights down talent tiers and winning them, so What are they going to do here?
Yeah, I absolutely think that Asians with attitude should try to get a pick or a fight here because they should always try to push into this keep more than they are right now because they are talent tier up. There's not much that Unknown Storm should really be able to do to stop them, so I'm surprised they're not trying to push in farther than they are right now.
Yeah, and I think really right now they're just playing the poke game here, trying to see if anybody gets really out of position here, maybe get a Rainer who's getting a little bit far ahead. But even then, just trying to engage into that ETC can just be really bad news, and they do get the keep.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a really easy advantage for Asians with attitude, is that's going to allow those cannons to push in that bottom lane. So now, no matter what happens, Unknown Storm's going to have to respond to that bottom lane pressure.
Yeah, that's always, like I said, we witnessed a game earlier where Asians with attitude just pushed into the team of Juan Cena, and when they got 3 keeps down, Juan Cena was winning fights, but you just have to respond to that pressure constantly, and you can't win.
Yeah, absolutely. After you get 3 keeps down, it's so hard to respond because, even if you're winning fights, the lanes, otherwise known as the Winions, will oftentimes be able to push and take her down by themselves.
Interesting strategy here. They kind of waited in that bush to make sure to see if the team was going up, but being smart here, they're going to make sure they get a Merc camp so they get some sort of pressure on the map. But with building advantage, it's hard when you're the losing team here because you want to force some sort of engagement if you can when you get level 20, but by not doing it, you're just kind of succeeding that. You're going to... Trading is kind of bad here where you're just going to lose another keep.
Absolutely. The situation is actually, I think, best for Unknown Storm. I really would have liked to see Asians with attitude try to press a fight at the top temple because they have that talent tier advantage. They should be trying to fight while their level's up, but instead they're actually just allowing Unknown Storm to take their bruiser camp while they're taking their siege minions. And unfortunately, they put 4 members on this point when they don't really need to, and sent their worst jungler to go take that bruiser camp. And so that allowed Unknown Storm to really use their advanced strategy. And so now, because of that, they're actually going to get a keep, allowing them to even things up a little bit more.
Yeah, Unknown Strategy Unknown Storm, sorry, doing a lot of work here. Where most teams would have kind of said maybe given up a little bit because they were far behind and already had 2 keeps down. So really good job even getting those last shots there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was such a big misplay though for Asians with attitude to not try to pick a fight. I think they totally could have won one as they had the level 20 tier talent advantage. And so Unknown Storm really playing their cards pretty well, showing why they've gotten this far into the fight.
Yeah, and right now, though, it's going to be a threat here. Well, let's see what the timer is on Boss. The Boss timer is up in 10 seconds here, so they have to make sure they're in a really good position. And Asians with attitude making sure that they're going to have to deal with the siege camp before they can even engage them if a potential boss play.
And we do see, as the level 20 talents picked up by Team Unknown Storm, we see things that are pretty standard. Bolt of the Storm, the Dying Breath, Rewind, Indestructible, and Nexus Frenzy on Paula completing that auto attack build.
Yeah, and it's really right here. Johanna has to watch out here getting caught, but she does have Iron Skin, so it shouldn't be too bad. But man, she is taking a ton of damage. Diallo doing the APOC in that really structure, as well as the Sundering going out, and Asians with attitude taking a ton of damage here. But Thrall, it does look like he's going to go down. He does blink. It doesn't go fast enough. The Ring of Frost does go out. It takes out 3 heroes, and Johanna's passive is procced here, and Tyrande is trying to retreat, but it looks like a gigantic win for Asians with attitude.
What a crazy maul they just got there. I think now Asians with attitude would win the game if they won. Could they go core? Are they going to go core? They are up 4-1, and they could actually get this Diablo kill here. He's not being careful enough. He's trying to do his best to survive, do his best to put out as much damage. Looks like he's going to die. The Dying Breath will go off, but is that going to be enough to stop him?
Wow, Cigar is so close to death here, but Uther being alive, they have nobody alive here. It is GG here. We have the core being attacked by siege minions, being attacked by all of the persons of Angels with Elroy. It is at 70%. It is down to 60%, 50%, and you call the rest of it, my friend?
Yeah, absolutely. We're at 20%, and we're going to see GG, a win for Asians with attitude on Game 1 of the finals of the ViperTech Gaming Tournament #2.
Yeah, what a game it was, and yeah, that was definitely just a huge win there for, it went back and forth the entire time, but that engagement at the boss, baiting it, not turning it into a throw pit, and just turning the game around and winning. You look at the kill score here, and it looks like they're much further ahead, but man, that was a really close game.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though they lost, I still have to give it up to Unknown Storm for able to win as many fights as they did down talent tiers.
Yeah, that was definitely amazing. And the Zagara, like I said, is just, she's such a great hero, and the ability to, whenever those engagements with so many frontliners being there, able to set up some really clutch maws into Jaina's Ring of Frost. So those combos were just too much there for the Storm team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing to note is they were able to get a lot of early engages on Raynor, on Tyrande, on Jaina, or they were able to get a lot of early damage put out. But I like to give it up to Team Asians with Attitude, not panicking when they saw that pick happening, instead using the Ice Block, using the Divine Shield, and then instead of running away, turning it onto Asian or Unknown Storm and putting out the damage they needed to put out.
Yeah, I mean, really, just nobody panicking there. Just an amazing game on both sides, and I think I'm hoping here we're gonna see the next game. I don't want to see a 2-0 here. I want to see Unknown Storm come back and bring it back because I'd be hyped up for a game 3 myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was, how close of a game that was. We're definitely it's very, very possible that we will see game 3.
Yeah, for sure. And folks, here, what we're going to do really quick, we're going to make sure that we get the next draft out to you as soon as we possibly can. And we're just going to take a very, 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 very short break. Okay?
Sounds good to me. See you guys in a hot second. Hey guys, welcome back to our draft. One map I have not been able to cast yet is Cursed Hollow. And I love Cursed Hollow. I want to see some Cursed Hollow. Yeah, absolutely. The one thing I do like about Cursed Hollow a lot is a lot of things, I said this earlier, a lot of things you have options where you're not really forced to go to the objective like you are in Sky Temple, like you are in Dragonshire, like you are in Infernal Shrines, like you are in Battlefield of Eternity. The objective will not win you the game on its own. So if there's an objective spawns, you can choose to maybe push instead, or you can choose to go for your boss instead, because one objective will not ruin you.
Yeah, and I do apologize to you guys. You probably heard Bri talking to himself for a little bit here because I actually have 2 separate mics, one that Bri can hear and one that you guys can hear. So I was muted there for a second. So he's not crazy. And we're going on for Matt Bams right now, so we'll see what's going to be banned first. I bet it's going to be Garden of Terror, but we'll see.
Yeah, I know another caster, Zol Penguin, really loves Garden of Terry likes to see the map a lot. I'm not a fan at all. I don't like watching giant planes being chased around.
There's a reason it's called Garden of Terror, my friend. I have nightmares about that map every single time when it comes to solo Hero League, and it's Dragonshire that goes first. I would definitely prefer to play a game on Dragonshire, but I can understand it.
That's interesting because Unknown Storm actually won, I think, 2 games straight on Dragonshire, so it's interesting enough that they're banning out one of their strongest maps.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they want a pure team fighty type map here because I'm wondering because Asians with Attitude showed in that last game they know how to make good decisions when it comes to rotations, when it comes to merc camps, when it comes to maps that are heavy on objective style gameplay. So it'll be interesting to see if Unknown Storm says, hey, let's play a Towers of Doom match or let's play a Cursed Hollow maps that the objective isn't as a big deal, and there goes Towers of Doom though right down the drain.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really surprised we haven't seen Towers of Doom. I don't think in either of these tournaments at all, as it's one of my favorite maps to see. And honestly, I really enjoy going there. I just think the theme of it's a lot of fun. I get that a lot of people don't like it because there's no way to end the game off a team wipe. Where you can't just rush core, because there is no way to rush core or else you'll die.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely going to be a huge deal here. We do have Battlefield of Eternity. It's one of my favorite maps. It's one of the most misunderstood maps in the game. What we've definitely seen a lot of people, what they'll say is if you go into Hero League or Solo Hero League, they're like, okay, we need to defend at all costs. But if you've been watching tournaments and you've been watching the way it is recently, the team that really gets an advantage on the Immortal and damage-wise is always usually going to win that race. So you want to get a team that's really good at putting out some damage on the Immortal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really good for the community that Tempo Dread Knight actually put out a guide the other day where he did a guide of all the maps. And one thing he said about Battlefield of Eternity is that you always want to be poking and pushing. And I think that's an interesting thing because a lot of people, like you said in here, League will always say, oh, gotta defend, gotta defend, gotta defend. But if you're always defending, then you're never going to get any damage into their Immortal and you'll never win the fight because you're not putting any damage to the objective. So I think really it's better to risk it and to be aggressive and die and get out that poke damage than to just defend forever and never win.
Yeah, I totally agree here. And we do have Zagara and Rehgar being banned. Rehgar just kind of being permanently banned in this tournament because he's so strong. Zagara, interesting choice. She's always strong on every single map, though. I guess I can see it. Nobody really wants to compete against the Creep Vision as well as because they can really see when you're rotating, and she does a fair amount of damage to Immortals.
And we are going to see our first Li Ming of the tournament picked up with Agents with Attitude. We're going to see if she's really as strong as she was before, or if the nerfs will make a big impact.
And I was really looking forward to see this. And guys, everybody get hyped in the Twitch chat because Li Ming is finally picked and is ready and available in this tournament. I talked about this a little bit with Try while he was in stream with me about how teams can sometimes bait out the Li Ming pick and maybe counter the Li Ming pick with a double frontline. Because if Li Ming cannot reset cooldowns, she doesn't become as good as you would think she would be.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see a Tyrael pick maybe late come out from Unknown Storm, as that Judgment and that Sanctification are both great tools to be able to combat that Li Ming. The Judgment can isolate her and stun her, so your team's able to burst her down. Obviously, Unknown Storm might store on that Thrall a lot, so maybe that Tyrael and Thrall can go in together.
Yeah,
even that Sanctification.
When I was a warrior main, man, that was my favorite time, playing Tyrael to Sanctification. The amounts of plays that you could possibly do are crazy. And wow, we have a Kerrigan.
What? Uther and Kerrigan picked first. What an interesting draft we see coming out of Unknown Storm.
Yeah, because we do have Kerrigan and Uther who are going to have so much lockdown. I'm just afraid that Unknown Storm here, they don't want to tilt too much and deleting the Li Ming because they still need to do damage against the Immortal. Kerrigan sets up lots of things, but one thing she doesn't really do is a lot of good attack damage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Tyrande is a really highly contested pick, or should be, on this map, as that vulnerability is able to use to take down that Immortal so much. It's so much more than you can ever really think about. And actually, Agents with Attitude is not going to pick her up either, as it looks like.
Maybe they will with her second pick here, but Thrall's excellent here for one reason, because you have a Kerrigan that dives into your team that's trying to attempt a combo. You throw your W root on her. If you're at level 10, you throw your Sundering out on her. It's just a really good combo to making sure that the Kerrigan can't really do much.
Absolutely. So we're going to have to see whether the reflexes of the Uther are enough to keep that Kerrigan player alive and free from CC.
And Agents with Attitude saying, hey, Kerrigan, guess what? We dare you to come after our Li Ming because we're going to pick up a Diablo and we're going to throw you all around so you can't even focus on hitting your combo.
He is indeed the Lord of Terror, and we are going to see if that terror is going to be able to seek into the hearts of Unknown Storm and terrify them from the inside out.
Yeah, so what are we going to see here for a ban here? Probably they could limit the healer scope here if they don't want to have a really strong healer, but you know, medic is a ban here that could be possibly good if you don't want to see them get medic and force them into an unfavorable healer, perhaps, because a lot of people don't have a lot of faith in Malfurion or Lily. But you know, you could also ban a strong damage dealer here because you know maybe you don't want the Jaina and Li Ming, or my favorite combo, Kel'Thas and Li Ming.
Yeah, I'd actually absolutely love to see a Kerosene ban here because they already have double frontline, and they're most likely going to pick up a third, as Asians with attitude probably doesn't want to have that double tank. They probably want to, or they probably do want to have a double tank and not have Diablo solo tank. And so Kerosene is a great healer when you have that triple frontline situation, as he's able to be up in there with the melee and his sweeping kind of heal, his circle is going to be able to heal a lot of targets. Looks like they're going to listen to you instead of me and pick up that Lieutenant Morales ban.
Yeah, like I said, Lieutenant Morales is just such a good hero, and Thrall is one of her big counters. So if you're a really good team and you see that there's could be a Thrall and a Morales with a stem drone going off too, you just don't want to be a part of that mess. So I think a really good ban here, but it does leave it does leave Asians with Attitude open to taking a lot of damage. They do ban out the Jaina, so very good ban I think by Asians with Attitude there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think taking away the really strong damage dealers, I think they either could have done that, or I think another frontline takeaway would be a really good ban. But I think they also really need another frontliner themselves, so it might have been risky to do that.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to see what Unknown Storm's gonna hear. They're gonna pick up Raynor because solid pick on here. Obviously gonna do a ton of damage to the Immortal. But like you said, they're gonna need a front line here, and is ETC the answer once again here? Maybe he'll no, it's gonna be Muradin.
Again, though, I might have taken Johanna because I think Johanna in general right now is stronger than Muradin, and she's also able to provide that vulnerability with her shield glare talent. And I just think overall she's better than Muradin right now because she's able to do more in team fights and has an ult that actually matters, other than Avatar, which just makes him tankier. Looks like Asian with Attitudes is going to hover over that Tyrande to get in that more damage against the Immortal.
Tyrande pick here. Really interesting choice here because I will remind you, one of the things I pointed out, the keys to my match that I said last game was a solo heal Tyrande versus an Uther, and it looks like it might happen on the opposite sides this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it might pay off for them now, though, because they do have that Diablo Thrall Tyrande combo. It looks like they are even just going to leave solo tank Diablo with solo heal Tyrande. I don't necessarily agree with that. They could go for that super risky Bala pick. I'd rather see them go for a Jahan or something like that, but this could be nuts.
This is true, but here's the thing right now. Unknown Storm, I think Unknown Storm needs to round out their comp here with Kel'Thas, and here's why. Because right now, with the way that Tyrande pick's going with the solo Diablo and stuff like that, you look at Unknown Storm's team, they can't burst anyone down, which is what they need to do. A Kerrigan combo, sure, early game can do a lot of damage. Raynor's just going to be sustained damage. Muradin's going to be sustained damage. Uther doesn't really have any damage. They're going to need to blow up somebody because that's how you need to go through the Tyrande. And so I think they really needed to pick up Kel'Thas here as their last pick.
You know, I would have to agree with you. I think you were right on the money, and we'll see if they do that or not. But I do think Falstad's an interesting pick because that is going to allow them to disengage a lot with Gust. Or maybe they might be able to do, you know, there are a lot of walls on this map, and maybe if they go into level 20 wind tunnel plus APOC, that could lead to a lot of wombo possibilities.
It is, and I think they're really going to go the sustained damage route here if they pick this Lunara up. Though I will say she's super strong and a lot stronger than a lot of people give her credit here. So they're going to go perhaps for Uther out healing Tyrande. We're going to try to sustain damage burst you. But with Diablo, Falstad, Thrall, and Li Ming, I'm not so sure. It's going to be definitely a tough matchup here for Unknown Storm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would have to say Asians Attitude won the draft, but I think the unfortunate thing though is that Asians with Attitude doesn't have a whole lot of sustain. Their whole plan has to be finding and blowing up a character before they're able to do anything. So I think pre-level 10, Asians with Attitude completely has the advantage because before Divine Storm, their strategy and approach is way superior to Unknown Storm considering those comps.
Yeah, I mean...
But I think after level 10, it's going to be either one's game.
Because, I mean, look at this. I mean, we have a Kerrigan here, and what do we think of when we see a Kerrigan? We think of a Kerrigan that pulls into a stun, followed up by a Jaina Blizzard, followed up by a Kel'Thas Q into a bomb of some sort, followed up by some sort of spike and burst damage here, and I just don't see that, you know? I just don't see how they're going to follow up the Kerrigan combo into something very meaningful. I don't want to sound, you know, negative on that, because, I mean, there have been times, you know, us as casters, you know, it's easy to armchair it here, and they could
Absolutely.
completely turn it around and do some crazy stuff that I've never seen. But it's they're gonna have to be really perfect in their execution of doing things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am super worried about, well, one thing that is possible is a large complaint about Lunara is that her Q is very hard to land, but it will be a lot easier to hit the Q when you do have that Kerrigan pull you in.
That's definitely true. And will we see a leaping strike here? I don't think so because he'll just get bodied by Diablo Tyrande. But so I don't know. We'll see if they want to just try to change things up and kind of shake up the meta a little bit here.
Yeah, and I did actually get that invite, so we're gonna be able to pull you in 1 hot minute after I get promoted to the leader here. It looks like I'm on a team that I'm not supposed to be on. I'm one of the observers, but we can go ahead and get you in here anyways.
I joined 3. Don't worry.
Oh, you got it. All right, cool. It actually looks like you were put on the team of Unknown Storm there, so we're gonna have to switch it up there in just 1 second. But yeah, I'm really excited to see this game record. I'm really excited to see whether or not Li Ming is going to make a huge difference or not. I think her burst potential with the lockdown of the rest of her team could make a huge, difference. And obviously, we're going to see a lot of damage come out from Falstad. We might even see Mage Falstad build.
Yeah, perhaps we will, but I haven't seen that being brought out a lot in there. But yeah, man, it's just gonna be really interesting. The Diablo Lord of Terrors versus the Stormy people. It's gonna be great. By the way, any fans of Unknown Storm, I'm just kind of playing around. I know you guys are Unknown Storm. I just like to have fun.
But he doesn't know you're Storm because you're the unknown.
Yep. All right. Let's check with the mods. Yep, that is our limit on bad jokes for the game. So,
darn it!
Use it up already, my friend.
I know. I'm a big fan of puns, and punning is what I do.
Okay, I'm gonna not be quite ready here because I actually need to change the teams because I think they've actually changed side if I'm not mistaken.
I do believe they have.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I am interested to see here is I wonder if I think really what this game is going to come down to is I think at level 16 obviously unknown is going to get a big power boost because if they're able to pull someone with that Kerrigan combo, Muradin now has that Thunder Strike on that single target damage, which is going to allow him to put out a lot more damage than would be normally expected for a Muradin player. And so if they're able to really get that lockdown, if Rainer's really able to follow up and Lunara's really able to follow up on that Kerrigan combo with that Muradin damage as well, it all comes down to the execution and communication. If Kerrigan misses her combos, they basically don't have another ability. They don't have a way to do a whole lot of damage or really win the fight until the combo comes back up. So it's really going to rely on her and her ability to hit those combos, and Uther to allow her to hit those combos with those Defiant Shields. So, obviously, there is a lot of play that's going to come into this in coordination. I think Unknown Storm has a much uphill battle, obviously, because it's going to take a lot more coordination than, obviously, oh, I saw Sunder, let me hit the Apocalypse button. Or I saw, or I'm Li Ming, let me just throw out all my damage and just kill a million people. So I think it's going to be more an uphill battle for Unknown Storm, but if they pull it off right, it could be very successful.
Yep, it's definitely going to be really... they're going to have to pull out, like you said, with that Muradin. They're just going to have to put out all of the damage that they possibly can on the target that they're going to go and commit fully. So definitely going to test their communication here. And I think we're almost ready to go.
Already. Who is the... I think we have... We do have the game starting right now, and so let's get hype in the Twitch chat for Game 2 of the finals of Hypertech Gaming Round 2, Heroes of the Storm.
Well, I think you summed it up for me, my friend.
Absolutely. We have 4 Asians with an attitude on the left. We have Diablo, played by FC Ignition, Tyrande, played by Halfnaf, Thrall, played by the Next Slash, Li Ming, played by Saber, and Falstad, played by Lucky Swan.
Yeah, and we actually have on the other side here, we have PokerStar playing Lunara, Arcanix playing Rainer, Amadi playing Muradin, Pinpox playing Kerrigan, and Smoking Paper playing Uther.
I really am a big fan of the Undercity portrait that Smoking Paper has going on. It is the most dope. That is the Undercity, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's a really cool picture, though. I like it a lot.
Absolutely. He must play a lot of Stitches and for Sylvanas to get there.
Yeah, man, you can't hate on the Stitches. The Stitches is my man. If he wasn't banned, I would love to see some Stitches play today.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see a lot of hype in the chat for Saber, so let's see if that's able to translate to real life, and that hype is able to allow him to hit his arcane orbs and missiles.
Yeah, everybody's really excited. That everybody loves having that, and I'm gonna fix this really for you guys, and the stream will be back to normal. The Unknown Storm does not have a victory, so we want to make sure that that's correct.
They're also on the right side.
Are they really?
Yes.
Really? That's so weird. All right, let me switch that up for you guys. I'm sorry about that.
All right, now I'm just going to commentate a little bit as we're starting out. We do see them not really going for a split. Both teams are heading in the bottom direction, which that means they are going to probably have a clash, whether or not they really wanted to or not. The Lunar Wisp is going to spot them out, though. So that means that Asian's actually is going to have to pull off a bit. But they do find a Muradin by himself. He's going to be able to Dwarf Toss away and be fine, though. But the Root coming after that, the stun just barely missing. If that stun collected, that definitely would have been an early kill against Muradin. Because that stun missed from Tyrande, that is going to allow him to get away. Just fine.
Great commentating, man. It's hard to try to fix things whenever the game's actually starting. So I'm going to try to bear with me. I'm going to keep trying to fix this for you guys so it doesn't look crazy.
Absolutely. Muradin being caught out again. Diablo's going to overpower him and Shadow Charge him, and he's going to actually get picked up by that owl, sending Muradin to Hogwarts, even though he's not really a wizard, he's just a little dwarf man. But that amazing owl from Tyrande able to pick up that kill with the help of Ranger's Mark.
Yeah, what an actually just knowing how to engage that and doing that perfectly. That was really great there.
And we do see that strength that Li Ming has, where she's able to outraise the towers, putting in a lot of damage, already getting one tower kill, making sure they already have, about a half level's lead already.
Yeah, that's definitely the way it's supposed to be there, man. And I think it's something that needs to be changed there, but you know what? It's just the way Heroes is right now.
I don't necessarily agree with putting Thrall by himself, as Thrall does not have the best wave clear. I'd actually put, I think, Falstad by himself, as he's able to, one, maybe gain from those season and marksman stacks by himself, and if the team needs him, he's going to be able to fly up much faster.
Alright, guys, and I'm able to focus a lot more on the action here because I think everything should be looking completely normal here. It might not look the prettiest, but remember, I was kind of here at the last second, so... Alright, so we do... What did you say?
We see Asians with Attitude pick up level 4 before this, but not quite. But we do see now them rushing down the enemy Immortal, and they already have a head start.
Yeah, like I said, this head start is going to be key here because you always want to see that, you can try to go now and try to defend here, but you're already losing out big time. And it looks like they are trying to do some sort of engagement here. I don't know why Li Ming is kind of too far out there, and she's getting chunked quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, Falstad is not going to be able to provide that much support. He's out of mana. And now Diablo's going to cut out and be killed by Unknown Storm.
Yeah, and really kind of a bad trade here. Tyrande going down as well. Li Ming needs to kind of back out here and make sure she isn't picked off herself. So yeah, definitely a trade in favor. But like I said, this is what I talk about when you try to get ahead on the Immortal, because even though they did get those kills, because of the early respawns, like they're going to be able to get back on this Immortal, and they're going to have to defend again, because even if they try to race right here, they're going to lose this race.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, they already are losing the race because of that early head start that Asians Attitude had when they're poking. And unfortunately for them, Unknown Storm really can't take the fight anymore because they're down with Palantir.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the way it had to be right there because, it seemed like they just were going to lose that fight, but they had to do it to make sure that Thrall goes on there, and the Tronley stun does go on, does get marked, and Raynor does get deleted from the game.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I'd like to point out, if you look at the talents here, I was actually thinking that Power Hungry would be a really good talent for Li Ming here instead of Astral Presence, due to the Astral Presence there. And because that Immortal spawns 2 globes when it wins the fight, she might have been able to get a lot of value out of that, double globe spawning.
Yeah, you want to talk about a talent that I'm loving here, and it's a talent that I take every game, and it shows you your dominance. Dominance taken by Li Ming here. Takedowns restore 25% of your maximum health. So it allows her to be so much more aggressive whenever to take down takedowns, and I would think that she's probably going to take a teleport build with that.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine as we see oftentimes. But now, she actually is being cut out, but honestly, she's going to be able to teleport and get away just fine. One thing we haven't really seen is Kerrigan be able to land her combos that much. Obviously I haven't been paying too much attention to the fights a little bit, but I would like to see her be able to hit those more, because I think that was a good opportunity where they're pushed up a bit, and if she'd been able to get that grab on Li Ming following up that Muradin stun, they could have maybe killed her.
Yeah, that was definitely something that needed to happen right there. We have Muradin here chasing the Thrall. Thrall's going to get away quite easily, though, here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's Thrall. He's got a mount. That wolf is way faster than that hammer.
I was joking about when you were going to say that Li Ming was getting caught out, but man, you need a lot of stunts to catch out of Li Ming.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like actually now Asians with an attitude, they're going to be able to capitalize on the fact that Thunderstorm's not there, and they might even be able to get this early fort.
They don't, and it looks like they're going to have to retreat here, making sure that they don't take too much damage. Kerrigan seeing, you know, maybe we should be kind of aggressive and get a combo here, but she's playing kind of passive, and we do have Diablo flipping the Uther, gets stunned into the mark, and you heard it again, folks, deleted. That's just what's going to happen with that combo, Tyrande into Diablo into the mark.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was talking about in the draft phase. I think the combo that Asians with the attitudes has to land between their members is a lot easier to coordinate and just a lot easier to hit even without coordination than the combo that Storm has to get.
Alright, and we do have level 7 talents coming out right now. We have Soul Steal on Diablo. He's going a full Soul build here. Battle Momentum on Tyrande. Follow through. Seeker. Wow, interesting. I haven't really seen Seeker. I thought it was going to be a teleport build, but if 3 magic missiles hit the same target, the third one deals additional damage. And Secret Weapon from Falstad.
Yeah, so we are seeing that hammer build coming out from Falstad, the one that's seen mostly prevalent play. And already we can see how much damage is coming out on the Red Immortal as that Tyrande's, Ranger's mark is just able to put out so much damage with the vulnerability.
Yeah, you know, and this is actually something I didn't think of, and this is why she took that talent, because when her 3 missiles hit, they actually hit. They do a ton of damage to the Immortal, and Kerrigan taking a lot of damage from being marked here. Li Ming having to teleport out of here, she's taking a lot of damage from poison, but it does look like they're going to escape pretty handily, but Diablo, on the other hand, does get knocked out.
Even even though he's Thrall by himself, he's just finally losing, uh-oh, I'm by myself! I can't handle this, I'm
Ooh, the double stun from Tyrande almost taking out the Lunara, but instead we have 2 blue team heroes go down, and they have to be aggressive here and get some damage on the Immortal to capitalize on this.
Yeah, but again, I'm not really sure it's going to matter, because we already saw Asians with attitude having that early advantage on the Immortal, they're able to rush it down, and now a lot of that death timer is actually wasted, with those respawns. They're going to be able to defend this Immortal high enough, and then they'll be able to poke in once the team responds.
Yep, you're completely right, and that's why you do it, especially since they have such a good poke comp right now. But they need to do something now, too, because now they're just losing out. They have to go around here and just be aggressive. Instead, I'm not so sure about this decision. Lunara is taking a ton of damage and is going in here. It does get knocked around. The stun does go on Kerrigan, but it doesn't look like there's much to follow. Li Ming does have her cooldowns do get reset by that kill, so they're going to have to back off here, take a ton of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Murden also almost got cut out by himself. He was kind of pushed onto the opposite side of the fence where he didn't want to be. And we also saw Uther almost go down. And now it looks like Asian's attitude is just going to get another Immortal basically for free. And we do see that Tyrande's trait putting in so much work. Yeah,
Tyrande's trait plus the attacks, plus the Seeker missile damage that I didn't even think about. Just doing that extra damage to the Immortal, just doing a great job. And great map awareness to take that talent, because most of the time you'd see the teleport damage go out, but she's making sure that she's paying attention to the most important thing on this map, which is the objective.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we see, a half shield, and that's really what matters is the shield level on the Immortal, because that's where it does the most amount of damage. And now they're going to get their second fort of the game.
And they do have level 10. And I'll try to do this quickly before we have an engagement here, but we have APOC and the Shadowstalk Sundering, Disintegrate, and Mighty Gust going.
Yeah, everything is pretty much expected. Now, I'm actually interested to see that it went from Mighty Gust, considering that there was a nerf to it.
Yeah, there was a decent, but not too big. Mighty Gust is still just, if you like, the way I like to think of it is it's a 5-man Divine Shield. It's just the ultimate disengage.
Yeah, absolutely. But now we see this is now going to start getting in keep damage with this Immortal.
Yeah, definitely. At this point in the game, 8 minutes and getting keep damage. This is huge right now. I'm wondering why Li Ming isn't popping her Disintegrate right now just to do some extra damage, because that would be really key here. They do the Shadowstalk here to engage here. They do get the stun on there, but he does get knocked out of the Feral Wolf, but he still goes down anyway, and Raynor goes down, and the cooldowns are reset, so Murden has to be careful because he's just going to keep feeding this Li Ming.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we do see that happen again. And now we could see Lunara go down, that stun just barely missing, but now they're going to turn around to Kerrigan. That's another reset for Li Ming. And they actually are going to get that full keep. Oh, the chain lightning punishing that Lunara for being out of position. That dancing little druid and her leaves could not hold up against the elements raining down from Thrall. And that's going to be first keep taken. Praise the attitude.
Yeah, that was a spectacular play. A way to just make sure they're doing the pressure, knowing they have level 10. The other team does. They do force the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, now they're actually are getting even more pressure with those bruiser camps. And one thing you have to realize is that on these Diablo maps, the bruiser camps do so much, as if you don't answer the shaman, they will push the core.
Yeah, this is just absolutely amazing here. Very great, just knowing this. But now we do see that they're at least on the same talent tier, at least for now. Probably not for very long, though. We do have for...
It's going to pick up those level 13 talents.
For level 10, though, we have Thornwood Vines, Hyperion, Avatar, Maelstrom, and Divine Shield. So what you'd expect.
Oh, such an unfortunate miscommunication by Unknown Storm. Muradin was able to catch out Thrall, but then Kerrigan was not able to follow it up. And now since the rest of the team comes, they're able to turn that around. They're able to fight 13-10. Unknown Storm was not able to do their signature thing and win a town down. And we are going to see 4 members fall on the team of Unknown Storm.
Oh my goodness, and Li Ming just absolutely just was able to reset all her cooldowns and obliterate a ton of the enemy team here. And so much that she was just face rolling on the buttons that she accidentally cast her ultimate for no reason. Again, actually. But they get her with the owl, so it does go down. It's unfortunate here. It's level 13, level 14, a 3-level lead here. And they really have to kind of make sure that they don't let this get to their head, and they have to make sure they're getting EXP so they can catch up to the same talent tier here.
Yeah, absolutely. Unknown Storm really can't afford to fight a talent down, but they're in a really tough position because they're not going to be able to get 2 full levels in this 9 seconds. So they're going to have to try to do their best to fight either a talent down or just let them get a full shield as Immortal, which I don't think they can do, as that might even push to core at this point in the game.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be very careful how they handle this, that's for sure. And it's already, they're just having that advantage of damage right here, and I don't know why they're looking for a fight. They could at least soak some experience and do some damage to the other Immortal.
Yeah, I really would have liked to see them try to race the mirror, because that's going to be their best advantage. It's not going to be able to defend their Immortal just fine, but, you know, at least if they were able to put in some damage to the enemy Immortal while they weren't looking, they'll at least be able to get the shields down. But it looks like Thrall could be kind of in that position. Yeah, Stormbolt just barely missing. Maelstrom being popped now.
Yeah, and it does look like Li Ming is going to pop her Disintegrate here, making sure that the APOC does go down, catches the Uther here, who does get the D-Shield from the Kerrigan. Kerrigan is getting killed, but then once again, the cooldown resets. She's getting full health from those. And honestly, oh my gosh, Li Ming just doing another Disintegrate here, just absolutely destroying the enemy team.
That was brutal. Kerrigan almost actually got the kill on the Falstad and maybe even the Li Ming, but then the amazing Falstad using Mighty Gust Disengage. Great time. That's going to be a full shielded Immortal for the team of Asians with attitudes, and we could see the end of the game here.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate, guys, and I think we're seeing right now why Li Ming, even in her nerf state right now, is still going to be first ban material for any pro tournaments that we see. Because, man, with Domination, you think you do damage to her, and then she's able to get 25% health from each takedown, and it's just, she can just be so aggressive.
But as you saw, you know, she almost died, but because they got a quad kill, she went back up to basically full health.
Yeah, and it's just disheartening to see that because it's like such a strong damage you like, and Uther does get stuck. Wow, Raynor just absolutely got hit by every single ability of Li Ming and just reduces 0 HP.
Definitely, and I think that definitely could end the game. The Thunder going in with the Shadow Stalk is going to allow there to be a lot of damage on Li Ming, but she's going to be able to jump her curly little legs over that gate just fine. But that still is a very healthy Immortal now pushing on the core. It's still got, you know, 25% shield and it's full base health with a 5v4 in favor of Asians with that.
Yeah, and they still have some ultimates, I believe, to throw out here too, and a lot of damage. And it's unfortunate to say, but that is an insane amount of damage going on the core right now. It is down to 80%.
Now we see them with the D-Shield with the Maelstrom coming in. They're trying to put up some fight. They actually are going to get the kill on Li Ming. Now turning around to Toronto. This could be the fight that they need to take. But the Immortal's still pushing. 25%. I think it's going to be GG. This is going to be GG. And we're going to see Asians win the finals of the #2 Viper Tech Gaming Tournament with Heroes of the Storm. Well played to Asians with attitude.
Yeah, that was definitely well played, man. They just made sure that they were going to just do what they mattered, and they said that when we're picking our comp, we're going to make sure that we just focus on the objective, and we're going to let the objective do all the work. I mean, granted, they did do the kills. They made sure that they had the correct initiations and the correct targeting, but just, like I said, there was just a lack of any sort of burst damage, and in this meta, burst damage is king.
Yeah, well played to both teams. Obviously, we saw a lot of good fights taken by both teams. Well played by both teams, but Asians with attitude did end up coming up on top. Well played to you guys. Your Immortal decided to become stronger, and you know, it really did work out well for you guys as you were able to take the victory.
Yeah, well played to both teams. Nobody should be ashamed by that. That was just it was just a really snowbally type map there, which can happen sometimes on Battlefield of Eternity. Great win by Asians with attitude, but by all means, Unknown Storm, you put up a great show in this tournament as far as I've seen. I didn't get to cast you in any other games, but watching you in the other games from my friend here, you guys knew what you were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys put up a really good fight, and I really did appreciate the way that y'all were able to take a lot of good fights, talent tiers down. Your team fight ability was really strong, and the skill was definitely there. But I think, unfortunately, there was a lot of situations where you're able to get down because of that, you know, just amazing power that Diablo and Tronda and Thrall can have. And unfortunately, a lot of times, it's when you have combos like that that are much easier to land, or Diablo just basically says, here's Rainer, let him be hit by all the damage. It's just very easy to follow up. And that really, that draft strategy that Asians with attitudes had definitely allowed them to win that video game.
Yeah, just excellent all around. And man, we finally got to see Li Ming play, and what do you know, the Li Ming team actually absolutely dominated. So I'm not sure when we'll see another Li Ming in this tournament. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was very well played, and I think Li Ming's definitely gonna be banned out and competitive after. I wasn't really. I was kind of a skeptic on her power. I was like, she's not gonna be that good. But I think Saber really proved that Li Ming is still totally viable and competitive, and still has a lot of power with those orbs and those disintegrates. Well played by both teams.
All right then. So yeah, just excellent here at the ViperTech Gaming game 2 of the Community League. Absolutely great games all around. I know we had great games from our stream. I'm sorry that we did have some problems with some lag on the side stream, as well as having some people that are, unfortunately, sometimes in the esports world, we have people here who we're trying to actually develop a real sport here. I mean, we get hype, we joke around here, but this is actually serious to a lot of people who are trying to build a resume, trying to build to the top of NA, and really put this as a legitimate sport. So if those people are watching right now, shame on you. But for the people who stayed around in the stream to watch everything, you guys are the reasons why we cast. You guys are the reasons why we even make these tournaments in general, because those are the people who take esports seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd really like to give a shout out again to our admins for doing such a good job of trying to handle the situation when it happened. Really, again, that's unfortunate, but they're trying to put a lot of work into this tournament, make it run the best as possible, just for, they don't get any benefit out of this. They're just doing it for the community. And, really, they did a good job trying to handle everything. And I think really got to give it up to them. And for everyone who played, everyone who, watched and enjoyed, it was really well played all around, really, good support by the community. Well managed by admins, and really chalked it to be a good tournament, even though we had a kind of a bit of a rocky start.
Yeah, for sure, man. The admins are the ones who make it work, and we're all learning all together, and we'll just have to make sure that those people that we saw don't ever get invited back to this tournament. But a GG well played to everybody who viewed our stream today and everybody who supports ViperTech Gaming. That being said, if you want to know more information about ViperTech Gaming and tournaments that I might be hosting, because they don't always do Heroes of the Storm, they do StarCraft, I believe, Hearthstone. You might know some more games besides that, but follow them on Twitter, ViperTech Gaming, or make sure you follow this channel here, Twitch TV, ViperTech Gaming, and just really, they're a really great organization, and I enjoy casting for them.
Absolutely. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time in 2 weeks in the ViperTech Gaming.
Do you want to advertise your Twitch and stuff before we go, or no?
Yeah. My Twitch is Bri_Twitch, as you see there in the chat, and my Twitter is Bri_official. You can check me out. I will be casting some Heroes of the Storm content, some Hearthstone content, some Brawlhalla content if you like that. Those are the games I like to cast from time to time. You can also see me in Chair League. I'm on Team Heartbreak Kids. We're probably going to be playing next Monday. We're doing pretty well. We're, I think, 3-1. So if you also like to check out those games, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and for me, if you want to follow me at Bleedies on Twitter, I'll be doing game updates for when I'm streaming my Hero League games, or when I'm streaming viewer games or anything like that. Or you can also look at me on Twitch TV/Bleedies, and for the same thing here. And if you need any casting needs, or you just want your organization to be hyped up here, just do some community events, I'm also there for that. So yeah, thank you guys for stopping by and enjoying the stream, and you have a great night and enjoy some more Heroes of the Storm.